Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to your first biology buster class. And we are starting with past paper 2005 to 2012. I think the past papers are oriented in the inverse, meaning that starts at 2012 and goes backward. Yes, so if you go to page 13 in your old book, the 2005 to 2012 copy, you will see June 2012 paper. Otherwise, if you have past paper, you have June 2012 paper, it is fine. This is the same paper that is here. This one is just shrunken so that it can be easily carried around to work and school, and you have your past papers with you. All right, so what I'm going to be doing is basically answering the paper 2. So we are going to complete this paper. Think we can do that? Yeah. We have 3 hours to complete a 2.5 hour paper. No, we're not doing the multiple choice today. Multiple choice, those are easy. So I might, after finishing the long paper on paper 2, I might run through the multiple choice from start to finish in couple busters by themselves. All right? So let us start. First question shows a graph, and it says figure 1 shows the effect of temperature on the rate at which starch is broken down by the enzyme amylase. You learned that amylase breaks down starch to maltose, and that starts in the mouth. So this is basically the result of an experiment. They're asking you, A1, to construct a table to represent the data shown on the graph in figure 1. And you're supposed to use 4 temperature values from the graph. So this is really table construction. And we all know how to construct our table. Ready for it, right? Yes. So we're doing number 1. It's AI, table construction. So the first thing that you're going to write before you construct a table is the title. It must be in all caps, it must be underlined, it must say table showing, and it must describe what is inside the table. Effect of temperature. And the rate of amylase activity. And you underline with your ruler. Then you're going to construct your table. The table must be bounded by 4 lines, like this. Put temperature on this side. And the temperature is in degrees Celsius. You put the degree Celsius in a bracket. And then you have mass of sugar per unit time. And that is mg slash minutes. Then for your temperature, you just look at the baseline, where it's the temperature, and you write any 4. I would do 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. Don't forget to close your table and make sure that it is neat. So at 0, the mass of sugar per unit time is also 0. At 10, what is the value?
12.
12. Good. At 20?
27.
30.
41. 41.
40.
35.
35 is correct. See there? That is all you need to do for 4 marks. Everybody understand, right? Good. Next page, it says you're supposed to describe the trend in enzyme activity as shown by the graph. It's 3 marks. You must use your marks, the number of marks, to gauge your answer. So, in this case, it is asking for the trend that you observe in the graph. What do you see?
It's not constant.
What is the trend that you observe in the graph? Right. So the reaction, it's asking for enzyme activity now. So you're going to say enzyme activity increases
As temperature rises, as temperature increases.
as temperature increases until
It reaches its optimum temperature.
right.
It starts decreasing. As it gets cooler, enzyme activity slows down. It is completely increasing.
Reaches its optimum temperature at 35 degrees Celsius, then the activity decreases with increased temperature. So you just described the trend. You want to see how you get your marks now? You get 1 mark for saying it's increase. You get 1 mark for talking about optimum temperature, and 1 mark for saying that it decreases with the increased temperature. So that's how you get your 3 marks. If you just write one thing, you're only going to get 1 mark. Don't shortchange yourself in the exam. Explain what happens to the enzyme at temperature above 37 degrees Celsius. Look at the graph. Below, after it passed 35, the enzyme activity starts to decrease. So beyond 37 degrees Celsius, yeah. So they're asking you what happened to the enzyme. So after 37 degrees Celsius, the enzyme is denatured. They are looking for the specific word here. Enzyme is denatured. That would not give you 1 mark, but this question is worth 2. What is denaturing?
The unwrapping of the enzyme structure.
Shape of the active site changes. So it is unable to bond with the substrate. Remember what is the substrate? X mark. Easy, don't it?
Exactly. Tell him again, please.
Telling you I'll always make it look good.
You do actually get the exam.
B is a little bit difficult. It says design an experiment to determine the rate at which starch is broken down under different pH conditions. This first experiment, it looked at enzyme activity as it changes with temperature. So they're asking you now to design an experiment to test pH instead of temperature. How would you do that?
Like a pea.
Use
Like a PD.
use different temperatures used with different pH solutions. And then you put the starch extract into each of the test tubes. And to each of the test tubes you will add the amylase, and then you would record the effervescence.
That's good. You would have gotten, you were at 5. You have gotten 3.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Exactly what
They
it
can't use it
Exactly what it is.
So if you remember, that is a catalase experiment you did, right?
Yes, catalyst.
Oh, it's a little bit different from that. In that, catalase works best at what temperature?
No,
You didn't test
35.
pH? You test the temperature?
We just do the
No, I
didn't
didn't.
Alright. So this is what you would do for your experiment.
Who's 13?
Design an experiment to test pH on enzyme. You're going to need materials. What will be materials? Once you have your materials, then you can easily just draw a diagram to show you how you're going to use the material. And then you can describe it. So you're going to need how many test tubes?
4 test tubes.
Why 4?
Not 4.
How much you can?
5. Or 3.
It doesn't,
It depends on how you. It all depends
You
on.
need one neutral.
You need a control one.
so it's 3, it's definitely 3.
What else?
Leave off.
Starch extra.
What we're gonna use? What was it?
Starch solution. Yes, you need the starch solution.
What will be the starch solution?
You need amylase. It is in the lab. You can get amylase and starch in a bottle. You can mix some cornstarch in water.
Oh, I want that.
Materials first.
Yes.
Orange.
Yes. So you're going to start with the material. You're describing the test tube, starch solution, amylase. You're going to need a boiling water bath. Why need a water bath? You know the function of a water bath?
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
I think it was something about.
A boiling water bath.
I think what it does is stabilize something, sorry.
Yes, it keeps the temperature constant.
Yes.
Right? You want all your test tube to be at the same temperature. That is a control variable.
Yeah.
And so
You know,
stabilize something. Steady.
Yes. Let me erase my table and put the drawing over here.
3. What a buffer?
Buffer solutions.
What's that?
Those are different solutions with different pH.
Oh.
That is the correct name for them. If you don't have any buffer solution, you can always use 3 things with known pH. Like you can use some water, 7, right? Neutral. You can use some vinegar or hydrochloric acid. Yes, and you can use a base.
Anyway.
Exactly. So you get the different pH, known pH. Okay?
So
Go ahead.
what did you say? Iron peroxide? Iron peroxide too?
Why you want to use hydrogen peroxide?
Is that a base?
No?
Neutral.
I don't even know the pH of hydrogen peroxide.
About neutral.
Yeah.
Just water and oxygen.
I know what you're thinking, but in your enzyme experiment, the hydrogen peroxide was the substrate because catalase breaks down hydrogen peroxide into water and oxygen.
Right, that's what we're doing in that lab.
Yeah. So it's different. It's a little different. The only thing is that you're going to use the same. You're going to use the boiling water bath. So the boiling water bath is like this. Set up, right? Set up like this with the rim and everything. You have the water inside. Then you are going to put the 3 test tubes in there. Test tube 1. What ones we're trying today?
Marcus Mark.
Test tube 2. Test tube 3. The boiling water bath is going to be 37 degrees, 35 degrees Celsius, right? That's the optimum temperature for the inside. Inside your test tube, you're going to add what? You're going to add starch, amylase,
Solutions.
yeah. I know I mean the same thing. Starch amylase, like starch, comma, amylase. And you're going to put buffer pH 2, buffer with pH 7, and buffer with pH 8.5. 8 is fine. You don't really find pH 9. pH 8 is more popular. Now with everything constant, so it's the same volume of starch, the same volume of amylase in each test tube. So that's a control variable. The temperature is constant for all 3 test tubes. The only thing that is different is the buffer solution. So it depends on the optimum pH for this enzyme. That is the one that is going to show activity. All right, how do you test that the activity, that enzyme is actually working? If you have starch and amylase in a test tube at the correct temperature for, say, 30 minutes, what is going to be the result after 30 minutes?
This was supposed to break it down into the E word, no? No, the effervescence, foam. Oh, the foam. Form a solution, what's it from?
Exactly. You can use iodine solution to test for starch.
What? What? So you never put iodine?
Look, I don't get
put
it.
iodine over there.
Oh, but they didn't ask you to test for the
You're not
if it
testing
works.
for starch,
And
you're
just ask you
testing.
to
Design the experiment.
design the experiment. So you design the experiment. But I am just saying, at the end of this experiment, how are you going to be able to tell which of these work, actually? This one with pH 2 is too acidic. So the starch will not be broken down. So the starch is going to still be present. This one with pH 7, amylase is good at pH 7. It depends on the type of amylase though. If you use salivary amylase, it's going to work best at pH 7. If you use pancreatic amylase, it's going to work best at pH 8. So it depends on which enzyme you use, you'll see the difference. Okay? Slight difference. Yes. You can draw this in the exam.
You can press the 3 steps now.
You just draw it and just that's it.
That's it. This is the design.
Try that.
What?
The drawing is your design. How do designers design clothes?
They write
Sir.
ideas first.
Sure.
Huh?
They write down their
Come on.
ideas first.
Alright, so we draw it now.
That's right.
So they,
Once they give you your list of the materials, you can just try. Can I pass you a booklet, please? Sir, where do you have the pass you a booklet? You left it home, don't you? You should go get one.
I don't mind.
Ask them to print you a different one. You can do that. Just go to, what's his name? Errol?
yeah.
Go to Mr. Errol and say, Mr. I'm trying to help you here, Mr. Weber. You're not trying to help yourself.
Who is Mr. Hero?
Just ask
You're going to go down on the bottom floor, ask Mr. Ig, you know who is Mr. Higgins?
Security guard.
The security guard, the big guy. Just ask him to point you to Mr. Errol. And if you go to Mr. Errol, you ask him who can reprint an invoice for you. And you go to the book room and asks for your 2 books. You're supposed to get a 2005 and you're supposed to get a 2012, 2015 book. Okay? And you pay for both of them. So ensure you get both here. Explain to the book lady that this is the one that is being used now, 2005.
I get a thin one.
And a thick one.
No, like just 2 thin ones. That's
Then there's a 25,
and remind her that she didn't give you the possible. So she might say you give it to her again. And then we will be able to start from side.
I mean, you go for the smaller book then.
Yes.
And do just try.
You can draw it or you can not draw it, just the description. So you can.
Oh, so I'm gonna either just write or do that.
Yes.
Draw it.
You remember how this guy was describing it? He described it almost perfectly. Except that he left off the fact that 30 degrees Celsius must be constant for all of them.
Okay.
And there must be a set time. Right? But otherwise, this is fine.
So please,
And this is worth 5 marks.
wow.
Yeah. I'm assuming that your materials will worth 2. Then the description worth the next 2. Name 2 parts of the human digestive system where amylase may be found.
Mouth, pancreas.
Mouth and pancreas. Is the pancreas a part of the digestive system?
No, and yes.
Isn't it an
small intestine.
accessory
It's an
organ?
accessory
intestine.
organ that is used
Small intestine is more appropriate.
in the digestive system and the endocrine system.
So
Exactly. So amylase can be found in the mouth and duodenum. Those are the 2 places you can find. Alright? So if you get an animal and you want to find out if the mouth enzyme amylase, those are the places you need to look. Explain why the digestion of starch stops when food reaches the stomach. That is easy.
Acidic conditions.
Yes.
Don't allow for it to waking down there.
When you get that?
Yes.
Acidity of the stomach. Acidic. What can I spell in this? Acidity of the stomach will denature amylase, which is swallowed. You don't have to explain that. Why?
Because you answered the question.
Exactly. They already know what is denaturing because you already tell them that denaturing is when the active site change shape. You don't need to repeat that, okay? The active site change shape, and therefore the enzyme will not be able to bond to its substrate.
I'm going to be the safe side and repeat myself. You can't go wrong with repeating yourself, sir.
Just the time.
Time is not an issue.
We can finish quick.
Sir, I can finish a paper and I'm like, hour left.
Wow.
There's no
Good for
exaggeration.
you. Good for him. It's only one time that it ever happened to me.
I never finished my paper in my days. I'm still doing that paper. It's a good thing I strategize, because in those days you had 2-3 essays at the back and you have some short answers at the front. You have to do
the day.
It was
Yes.
dumb
Yeah,
sitting
yeah,
first
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
we
yeah.
And we
decided.
had choices though. So I just go around here and look for the ones that I am most comfortable with. And I just write those essays quickly.
And you also have
And then-
papers back in those days.
Yeah, when I had a practical exam.
Yes, four. Or
Wow.
three
Yes.
now.
So I was in my exam like this, doing the experiment while teachers, while the invigilators walking past and checking to see. Okay, everything is fine.
Wow.
Yeah. It's more exciting than what you guys do as SBA.
Yeah, the SBS. Oh.
Try the
You
A.
want me to run this? If I wrote this, I get it.
Yeah.
So the next part says, name an enzyme which works best in the stomach. So it's asking you to name the two enzymes from the stomach.
Pepsin and renin.
Stomach enzymes are
See what life is.
no.
Oh no.
These are the two enzymes in the stomach. Here?
Pepsin and the renin something.
Yes. Pepsin, you cannot forget this one because it is the first enzyme that breaks down protein. Actually, it's the only enzyme that breaks down raw protein. Pepsin. So protein digestion starts in the stomach. Yes.
So if we renin, we have to put all mostly in young animal in young animals.
No, just like pepsin and renin. I didn't ask you where you find renin.
Just ask what enzymes are.
Yeah.
Yeah, one more.
Yeah.
It asks to name an enzyme that works best in the stomach. Renin. Or pepsin, whichever one you want. I can write two of them and show them that you're boasting like that, you know.
No,
They're not going to mark it. Not going to mark it.
You're the one where you
You
want
do
it.
one mark, you know, get an extra mark for the extra one that you write.
Exactly. So what you
Sometimes we
say?
don't exaggerate, we just stick to the, yes. Amylase is found in plants. Suggest 3 plant structures in which amylase may be found. Let me see how smart you guys are.
Alright. Amylase.
So in plants, amylase is found in. Go ahead. Roots, leaves,
In the stem?
there's none in the stem.
Roots, leaves, and
Seeds.
Seeds. I was thinking about seeds, but like seeds is part of a plant.
What do you mean you see this part of a plant?
Isn't it that part?
Where it come from?
Alright, they were made.
Are in the fruits. And I can give you an example of all of these. Name me a root starch.
wrong.
What?
Me never.
Did you say yam?
No.
Yam is correct.
Tomato.
Oh my God, we are Yes, I'm sorry. This is online. This guy don't miss class, man. Him, I do miss class there. She a sleeping one.
I think we'll call it like that in the better Johnny.
Where is what she name? That good looking girl? Normally come with you.
Good looking girl or good
Both. Nesbeth. Nesbeth, if you're online, you need to come to class.
Oh my gosh, I'm call you out.
You don't like that.
She don't like that.
When them coming out of class here.
Yeah, so like yam is starch. That is found in the root.
I was right.
So there must be something that can break down the yam, the starch yam, so that the starch can be utilized. The plant never store its food for us, you know. We just take the food because we can. Whoa.
This one.
So yeah, give her what this and that again. So where's the Buster book? You don't get the Buster book?
You don't give them back to you when I give them pay for it.
Why would you do it? Okay.
I guess my book here come, that's what you do.
Well, let's see how that goes.
Oh, so the rest of it,
Leaves, as you know, starch is not made in the leaf. Well, it is made in the leaf. Glucose is made first as the manufactured sugar. Side note. So the manufactured sugar is glucose, yeah?
Yeah.
Starch.
The storage sugar.
Starch. Yeah, starch.
Is starch, yeah. And transport sugar is
Sucrose.
good. So leaf has in starch grains, and these starch grains can be converted to maltose and then sucrose, because you know that maltose and sucrose have the same chemical formula. It's just their structure is different. And in the seed, the cotyledons, they are starch. And in order for this, the embryo to utilize the nutrients from the starch grains, it needs the enzyme amylase to break down the starch so that it can be utilized. Same thing for fruits. Think about a green banana compared to a ripe banana. Why is it that the green banana is not very sweet and it's starchy? Exactly. The starch is in the green banana, and the amylase, which is in the green banana as well, is going to convert the starch into maltose, and then ripe banana is sweet.
Ah.
So you have to have a green one.
You have red banana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where?
They grow near the water. It's a different variety.
Oh,
It's getting popular now though. Back in the days, you only find it beside a river.
it is not.
I don't know. On class side. Decide that you're not coming back to my Tuesday, Thursday, you're coming to the night class. Big people come to night class. Welcome. So how is it that you get your master's book? And him don't get free.
Which him? The him gone.
My brother don't get free book, but she get hers.
You get 2 months on it. You just never call it.
I never get most of the things in this.
Okay. It's good that you get it. We look at that book next class here. Apparently this is the Buster's book this year. But I'm used to using, apparently this is the Buster's book this year. I'm used to using this one. The older one, 2005. Coming up.
What I need after?
Which one? 2005?
Yeah, because that's the one that we got to get everything, but they get that. And they make the small one.
Well, don't worry about it. Past papers can't be too much. You can't get too much practice. Unless of course you have other subjects to do and you want to concentrate on them. But if we do all the questions, chances are one question will come back and you get it. You get to do it.
And that would be beautiful. Oh, sure, they come back.
Next question says, so you see, this is 3 marks in them. Just by listing root, leaf, seed, fruit. 3 marks.
Then they give a marks.
How is the starch produced in leaf? How is the starch produced in leaves? Converted to a substance which can be transported to other parts of the plant. What are they asking? Exactly. How is the starch get converted to what?
Sucrose.
To sucrose to transport sugar. How you get starch, which is a stored sugar, it is in the leaf being stored because the plant never need it at the time, so you convert it to starch and store it in the leaf. How will the plant convert it to sucrose now and mobilize it to parts of the plant that you probably need to use it right there and there? How is that possible? What do you do if you're a plant? Yeah, call Mr. Marsh and ask him how it works again. Do you remember the term? H. It starts with H.
H.
S. Seriously, you're gonna play Angman now with the word?
But can't they go no word like that? Oh no, even
when you think about breaking down complex compounds to simple ones. Okay.
How many bones are in there?
We're going to our husband today.
So starch
You couldn't make me figure it out, sir.
Yes, sir.
is converted to sucrose by
Hydrolysis.
yes,
Is it really hydrolysis?
hydrolysis.
No, that's
That is exactly use of water.
we can't be studying really that's what that we didn't have in the head. We just think it was wrong.
And the enzyme amylase.
Wow, that's exactly what I had in my head.
See here? 1, 2. 2 marks, right?
That's it. Wow.
That's it. Everything in the whole biology is connected. You have to just go in there with an open mind here. Because everything is connected. See something? Let me see what I connect this to. Oh yes, yeah. There. Just
That's
figure
how
it.
we did fast. Sometimes.
That's how we
I can make all like Christian, they find something in common, this and that, even though we never study. Although I did study for some of the ones that I actually needed.
Give one benefit of storage in the plant. So
Give one benefit of storage of starch in plants. One mark, you know. Why is it beneficial to store starch? Okay, all right. This is the comparison. You see a question like that, ask yourself, why starch? Why can't we store glucose?
Because glucose is too
volatile for
all right, so if glucose is too volatile and reactive, what is starch?
Not volatile and less reactive.
Stable. That's
it's a
it.
stable reaction.
That is it. Starch is stable, and therefore it can be stored. Another reason is that starch is easily hydrolyzed, so it can be quickly converted to whatever you want it to be converted.
Oh, so that's how they come up with the little something that we can put in the water and drink.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
We used to always wonder how that works.
benefits of storing starch. One, starch is stable. That means it will not react with everything around it. Two, There, I just give you two. Just you get your personal booklet?
Yes, sir.
You get the new one? 2013, 2015?
Oh, no, I didn't get that one.
You can collect it. They're at the bookshop. You get invites. As long as
I don't know
you
the
pay for it.
invites now, but if you get it.
Look at that, 25 marks done. The longest question in the paper. It's question one, it worked 25 marks, and it's always based on experiments. That is the one that they add experimental skill. So,
So it's kind of a paper,
kind of like a paper 3, yes. So it is added to your SBS basically, and give you that profile that says
So
experimental skill.
basically, if you actually did SBA, the question can further testify if you actually did it.
Yes, right.
What you did.
If you understand what you did.
So it's like a tested 2 times.
We're testing you and based on your lab. That's why some people go back and ask if they can get them lab book, a copy. Because, well, quite frankly, not all of you know what you did when you did the experiment. And as such, it's a good idea to go over them and know what the expected results are. But some results that I see you guys put in the books, and they get these things. These things look like them just drop from sky and then put them on the paper. I have no bearing in real life. Question 2 is a skeletal system question.
Okay, that nice to me.
Bone and cartilage. Ready? It says, figure 2 is a diagram of a hinge joint found at the elbow of a human body. State the name of structures labeled A, B, and C in figure 2 and give one function of each structure.
A is
So it's A, B, and C. The question 2. I'm erasing everything. You're starting a new question. I did miss question on both times. Question 2. So what is A, B, and C? I think A is a bone.
Yeah.
What is it?
Muscular tendon.
Ligament.
Yes. B is a ligament.
A different possibilities.
I'm using the first one. No, that is the fluid that's between the.
Synovial.
Yeah.
Synovial.
That's a synovial.
Yes.
Sure, so where's the cartilage?
The cartilage is at the end of the bone. That semicircular thing at the top of the bone. Those are the cartilage.
All that stuff to add that.
But they have a liquid between it to lubricate the joint. Yes. So synovial joint, the function, lubricates the joint. Lubricate joint. Why? Because it reduces friction. What do ligament do?
Annex joint bone to bone. Yeah, that's bone to bone.
What's the function of the bone?
Support.
You can have the other function, right? Making of red blood cells, making of blood cells, give body shape,
It's just a missing of
movement. You know, this is where 6 marks.
this.
1 mark for the bone, this, and 1 mark for the function each. So that's 6 marks just drop in your lap. I didn't work for it.
Right?
So you get 100 for the CXC. Are you get 100 on the CXC?
Thank you very much.
CXC have worked up good with some new questions we never seen before. I have no
Like
idea
when you
about.
do like blood liquid chemistry in 2015, it comes from all the questions.
Okay, some A-level
Right.
type questions.
Is that legal?
That was even the outside.
Is that even legal?
Yeah.
Use a line and a letter D to show the cartilage. See that sir at the back? Remember that showed out cartilage earlier? That would show you that, yeah, well, obviously to get one wrong, because you would ask if you label cartilage if cartilage was there. Cartilage is at the end of the bone. So the bone is the mirror.
Hard water.
Get past it.
And the oxygen soap on hard water.
Get past it. That's a good.
So the cartilage is right here. And you ask if you say cartilage, let me say, part D. Follow the instruction here. So you're going to draw a label line on the same side that them have A, B, and C, and put D. The label lines must all stop at the same place, must be drawn with a ruler.
Is the same rule for like when you're
Same rule for drawing and labeling. Okay? And that is only worth 1 mark, just to put the label. Next question says, arthritis, a degenerative disease, may cause the wearing away of the cartilage of joints. Explain how this will affect joints. 2 marks. First of all, when somebody have arthritis, what happens?
It's irritation caused by the, I think, the loss of
the
synovial.
last I've seen
There's irritation and arthritis. Inflammation due to the friction.
So it's the wearing away of cartilage and synovial fluid. Effects.
increase friction.
That is bone. Bending problems because there's nothing to ease the movement.
There you go. Somebody ask you for one, don't
Explain how this will affect.
So,
Question.
how is this going to affect the joints? Well, the joint won't be able to move that quickly. It will be hurting. Oh God. You have problem bending the joint. You're not going to be very mobile anymore. Pain and discomfort. Oh God, the arthritis step on my mind.
So just have any one of those.
Two. Write all four. When you going to write all four? Write all four. You can write all four now because you need to have the options.
Yeah.
But keep your options open.
She said don't give up one.
She said give half. Then you have my request. You just not tell you.
What you showing me was he said America. Don't give half one.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, them.
Then says she said don't
Explain
give
the
half one.
muscles of the
I know.
Sir,
So,
sir, she said give half one.
by
That?
You give the marker, you don't give it.
My love can say half one.
No, well,
You get half your love a full mark and my love.
Don't worry, if you say half mark your love, smile because it will round up. Yeah. So if you see 7.5, yes, you get an 8. If you see 8.5, 9. If you see 9.5, you get the full 10. All of those 0.5s are going to be rounded up. When moderation comes out.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Beautiful. But there's no place for points at the portals, so you can't enter points at the enter the
Your own
flag.
figures and how.
So you roll it down and roll it up. And our teacher will roll it up the next way. So you want the best. One of the best players. Looks good at me when that happens. You get invited to mark without applying. Next question. Explain how the muscles of the upper arm bring about the raising and lowering of the lower arm. This is the upper arm. This is the lower arm.
Yes, sir.
So the muscles up here bring about the raising and lowering of down here. Explain that?
yeah, sir, some go relaxing and contracting.
Yeah.
So when your bicep relaxes, when your bicep relaxes.
Don't mix them up with them?
This is a bicep and this is a tricep.
Yes. What is the flexor muscle?
Depends.
Which one is the flexor? How do you flex?
Oh, okay.
Bicep.
Bicep is the flexor,
Bicep, tricep.
and the tricep is the extensor.
Or extension.
Your bicep and
Second.
triceps.
I'm still going to put it up here, even though you all know. Shall we look last night? What's going on in this class? I'm in the wrong place. 4 marks. So it's a C, right? So raise. So raise the lower arm. Bicep muscle. while tricep relaxes. It's 2 here. So you have to talk about this and this, you have to talk about this and this. So you get 1 mark here, 1 mark here. This time, tricep contract. So this caused a lot of students not to get their full marks because students tend to late when they're answering these type of questions. Like this young man.
Sir, I'm using PE and answer correctly all the time in PE. So I say when I get, I get when I got some questions when this is in exam, but in the exam I try to draw the diagram. I got 5 or 6 lines because my diagram, the lines and look so good.
But students tend to see this as repetition and say, oh, I'm going to repeat it. It's the same thing, one word, then the next one must vice versa.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, and then don't write it back. You don't write it back? What are we going to give the marks to?
Well, I'm telling other people.
So, please, look at the question, look at the weighting, see where 4 marks, so you know, so you have to write out everything. So to raise the arm, what happened? Bicep contracts while the tricep relaxes. And that happens because they're antagonistic muscles. When one relaxes, the other one contracts. So bring about a set of movements. Suggest why the treatment of some blood disease may involve a bone marrow transplant. That's easy.
The bone marrow produces blood cells.
Cells are produced in the bone marrow.
That is where the blood cells are made. Only one blood cell is not made in the bone marrow. Which one is that? Who said that?
Not right.
So it's not fully right. One blood cell not made in the bone marrow.
When you said not fully.
Because it's a white, it's a type of white body.
Lymphocyte?
Yeah.
Made in lymph nodes.
Lymph node, thymus gland, and
Spleen.
spleen. Good. Yes, lymphocyte is the only blood cell that is not made in bone marrow. All red blood cells are made in bone marrow. All phagocytes are made in the bone marrow, and even your platelets are made in the bone marrow. Fragments of cells, but them having cytoplasm containing clotting factor.
I don't know where is the spleen. Where is the spleen?
The spleen is under your left rib cage.
Because whenever you see diagram of the body, you never see the spleen.
That's the spleen. It's right under here.
Wait, which organ is under?
It's under your rib cage. Right under here.
So why don't I put it on the picture there?
You never see it. Look like that was an idea of notes, the spleen, and what's the next one?
Side note. Side note. Lymphocytes are made in the bone marrow. No. in the lymph node spleen and thymus gland. Thymus gland is in the neck here, right beneath the thyroid gland here.
You need to who?
Alright.
What is it going to?
So, same also. Him send with the
labs?
him have labs in the sea.
Oh,
So
tell you.
You know say just have labs in the sea and then we have 5 grams per day. What's for the first time? Why he did not know that because he did not and he might get more than
You because most of the types of blood cells are made in the bone marrow with the exception of lymphocytes.
him a few before
I did that thing, I did my.
Sir, why you never do it?
I did.
Like why you never come to
What? I can't manage the water, I get very cold, get cold easily, and I couldn't afford a wetsuit. As we stop joining his hand. That's the I have by the university, so. University.
Yeah, answer the question.
Of course, I'm going to answer the question. What is the question again?
Suggest why the treatment of some blood diseases may involve a bone marrow transplant.
All right, so bone marrow transplant. Sometimes necessary. To treat diseases such as sickle cell anemia, because new bone marrow means that new blood cells are made. Which are without the defects of those previously made. You can make your explanation shorter. I'd give an example. Let me ask you for an example.
Example should say no, you're not talking about.
If you want to make it really simple, you can say blood cells are made in the bone marrow, and therefore, with bone marrow transplants, new blood cells, different blood cells are going to be made. next question is pretty easy. Wow, that's question 2. We done question 2. We're on a roll. You get 6 questions in the paper here. 6 questions. Yes. And all of them compulsory. You have no choice. You have to do all of them.
I know, sir.
Especially question 1.
The first one is about lab, right?
It's about lab and we're 25 marks. It's the one that is most heavily weighted.
I would do the lab so most can.
You most can figure it out. I agree. They might ask you about precaution. They love ask about precaution.
But it's not
And
all
when
the
you control
but it's not all the lab
and
you
a
have
source of
precaution.
error.
Exactly.
You have
We're
to
gonna make it up.
figure them out. Yeah, you have to figure it out. Make it up. Figure it out. Precaution is there. You just have to figure it out. Not make it. Not make. Oh, you cannot make up a precaution. Right?
You should get fornicated.
Sir, then we give us like a booklet, like over the lab,
Yes.
and then them have all the precautions. Anyway.
First language must draw. My answer.
Use gravity.
You might put a little short.
That's not how that works. Yes.
We jump in the back.
But it's still the rating. No, jump in the back though. And we are live. And I don't live. We've jump in the back is good.
There's a moment a while ago the bacteria.
Yeah, just go straight like
But I have acid in my stomach that's going to kill the bacteria.
I still can't feel everything, sir. On paper, but on the bacteria that was.
I don't want to, overdo it because if you have too much bacteria, that is how you get gastro.
So what's the purpose of the acid?
It is there, but some bacteria have capsules.
But should I make this like tablets of
Yeah, man.
capsule?
Remember, no matter what you do, them try to.
So it's just scripture.
Did the most of the cookie ice
Looking at me.
Yes, sir. Sir, we try gas.
Try what?
I've ever had gas tea, sir. Gas tea.
fever grass? Like fever grass
No,
or
grass.
like Asta grass tea? No.
Like,
So you had grass tea?
no.
Zero.
But since you've been at Jamaica, anytime at Jamaica, try to kind of plan them so they can make
Yes,
tea with
you
this
can
and,
make
I find every type of bush.
I
But
find out what
they say
you
bush tea because they make every single bush out.
I try surcity, I try
That is very much, sir. That is-
lemongrass, which is
Lemongrass.
lemongrass,
Yes, I actually have
Just
lemongrass growing wild again.
and I try
you tell us something.
mint,
Exactly, sir. You
I
don't
didn't
get
smell a ring.
You know,
and I
Mama,
try.
You sure somebody in the field one here?
There's a punishment at
So
rock.
it's good.
that's why you're gonna make that.
It's good for your nerve.
I can see you.
But why you get up and make sure something?
Yeah.
I like
For your nerve.
And like the chemical.
I don't think you have nerves problem, it's good for you.
Yeah.
But drink like 5 years.
My favorite is lemon.
I can erase this now?
Yes, sir.
Alright, question 3. How is my time? What is my time? I still have 1.5 hours?
Listen.
What?
What time we over?
Yeah, but
It's a
8:45. We finish 8:45. You know.
Yeah, what I know.
How much time do I have left?
1 hour.
What?
Yeah, but 1
We
hour.
have 1 hour.
Yeah, how about 1 hour?
If I have 1.5 hours, that means I can finish the paper. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Yes, let's do this. Quick and fast. Right.
Sir, I did question too.
So we have a plant cell. Diagram of a typical plant cell here. It is asking you to identify the parts labeled A and B and see the function of each. So, number 3,
So A is your
That's all.
A and
your
B.
cell wall, and B is your chloroplast.
Sure?
Yeah.
Are you looking at?
I am looking.
There's
Is your chloroplast.
So the function of the cell wall
Correct.
is that
Yes.
Yeah.
it gives a thick shape and protects the cell membrane. The thick shape and protects the cell membrane.
Gives thick
Shape.
shape.
Protects the cell membrane.
And things are sticky.
Good. And chloroplast.
Causes photosynthesis and produces the chlorophyll pigment.
Wow. So that's something I'm telling you.
Yes,
Because
because
oh, I
that's study
know.
what you give me now. And I did this before.
Because I see.
Produces chlorophyll. Good.
So I already know that's the definition.
That's a definition.
Not definition, I said
Function.
give two
It's how she
functions.
say it, you know? It just sound like how me say it.
Because it is. We teach them. Say it.
Sorry, excuse me. Would you like anything? Would you like anything?
No, I can't remember numbers.
in the
Statement. I got people say. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, no one knows we not with you.
No, when I say that thing, when I say that thing, segment it. You say, no. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, you mean
Yes.
you want to know people there? I don't like arguing with people there.
I don't delete.
I don't delete messages either. Delete messages.
We delete messages.
I'm gonna delete them.
Now, why my history still?
What am I doing?
I have to prove myself. Right?
So you never prove it yourself, right?
Nobody trusts me.
Why would they?
I don't trust already this year.
Oh, you feel?
I don't feel no way. I don't trust myself. Right, so the cell was left in a concentrated salt solution for 1 hour. In the space below, what space?
That is a screw.
Draw an annotated diagram to show the appearance of the plant cell after 1 hour.
That's not a space.
Sir,
Maybe
it's going
we
to
shrink
become
the book and figure it to name of space.
turgid.
What?
No, we don't find out something, sir. We never said that.
What is going to happen to the cell?
Plastic. Gonna become plastic.
What did you say, Talent? Where's the cell burst? Which cell burst?
Cell multiverse.
Salt solution.
What is this?
Remember when
What is this?
protect the cell?
Protect from bursting.
Remember when you do protect the cell? Is that sir?
Yes.
Oh, let me
So the cell is going to become plasmalized. You remember that word there? Plasmalized?
No.
Plasmalysis?
No,
Yes. And the burst.
Exactly, I drew it in class.
I remember the drawing, but I don't
You remember the word plasmalysis though? You remember it? Yeah, it is flaccid, but because it's a plant cell, we describe a flaccid plant cell as plasmalized. Let me draw it, because this might be important. So, you're going to look at the cell as it is. The cell wall is not going to change much.
Right.
So you're going to draw back the cell wall as
Easier.
We're going to try and draw it the same way. But don't waste time trying to draw it the same way. Like I am doing now. I have a disease. You guys don't have it.
Yeah, but the disease. Like, I have disease, you guys, so don't beat me. Make this work. This is sick.
Sarah, serious?
I'm gonna try that when I take calls.
Sarah, don't know this on my
Because about the disease in the ear.
What kind of sickness have OCD?
That would be perfect for me.
Sarah, OCD can come here and become mistake of life.
Obsessive compulsive disorder.
Everything should be perfect. Goodness, right? I tried about the two at the four sides.
This is an evidence of detail.
I'm serious? I'm really serious? Yeah. That's just. Oh Lord.
I get it, no, I get it.
It's not really serious, including function languages. God, the keeps knowing us so weird things around the keeps. No, you can say them to you, I think it's not that this is so weird things.
Mother's Day.
You know, everybody understands that they're obsessed with something.
Next what's up? Next friend? What was it? Chilling? Next friend, please go with you. That's my phone.
See there, so that is the cell wall. So you get the cell wall looking exactly the same way. And then what is going to shrink is your cytoplasm and your large vacuole. So dismiss it. Yes. Yes, the cell membrane is going to be torn away. But remember, so the cell membrane is represented by one line, a single line, not a double line.
Oh, you mean like a little unconnected line that comes to
Yes. So what you do, you try to draw back your nucleus where it was with the same size. And the nucleolus and the yes. And these things end up as a reticulum.
Rough and smooth.
Yeah.
The ribosome. Mitochondria are not going to change much. How many mitochondria we have? 2. The chloroplasts. Then put them anywhere. Because your vacuole is going to be either shrunken or disappear. Then for your cell membrane now, just go like this. So cell membrane, it's torn away. So this is the space where there's nothing at all. See the cell membrane here? See? Torn away from the cell wall.
So on the first diagram, wouldn't the second line, the third line be the cell membrane?
No.
All outside the cell wall?
The cell wall, I told you that the cell membrane is a single line. The cell wall is always a double line. So this is showing neighboring cells. The cell in the center, it have 1, 2, 3, 4 cells surrounding it. And that is the cell wall of the other 4 cells. See? Top, sides, and bottom.
What?
Clean what? What happened? You have to dry it over.
It's during this time.
That's what I was trying to.
Because one cell of this up, that is the cell wall this up, it's for the cell to the side.
You get 2 hours to do all of this.
Yeah, but no, but this is triple INS, it's triple INS, right? Because here by the cell. So it's two cell wall there. Let me show you. Let me just show you. You see this triple line?
Yeah.
It's showing 2 cells. So look, this is the next cell.
Oh, good. Yeah. No, can I get it?
See, that's the cell wall for the next cell.
Right.
And this is our third cell over here, so cell wall. And up here, so you have a next cell. Cell wall here for the next cell. So this is a cell, this is a cell, this is a cell, this is a cell. In plants, the cells are closely packed. So cell walls will be touching each other. Alright?
So basically, it's a 2-line we're looking at.
Yeah. So if I'm supposed to draw one cell, I just simply erase the neighboring cell.
Okay.
So this is one cell wall. But when the cell membrane is torn away, it is represented as a single line torn away. But the cell wall would be changed because the cell wall is already thick and rigid. And you just put in your labels. These are labels, right? It's a label.
No, it's a drawn annotated there.
Oh, annotate. So if you have to annotate, you have to write. You have to annotate the cell membrane because it changed. Cell membrane torn away from cell wall. Right? You need to annotate the cell wall. Cell wall remain tough and rigid. You have to annotate the call it again? Vacuum. Vacuum. Shrink. Beautiful. Exactly. Water loss. No. Those are hard stuff. The nucleus not going to shrink. Chloroplast, the mitochondria, those not going to shrink. Cytoplasm shrink. Why? Yes. That's it. So those are the only places that you need to write about. The places that are affected by the process. You know, a student threatened to steal my book yesterday. So that's right.
You have notes in here?
No, I don't write in there. You should do the same thing here.
Do write in here?
No, write your name big and bold.
Oh.
And keep it close to you. Because he's like, I will pay for the first time and I'll just wait until
Second development. I'm sticking it as soon as I got. Which one?
If I ever mind.
Yeah, so if you walk in past it, make sure you wear your book.
Start using honest. Jerry, the 25 passed for yesterday?
Then have to study what?
The 25 passed for yesterday in class?
No.
What did you do yesterday?
One question.
Because the class, right?
No. It was embarrassing. The admin came and emptied the class.
As a don't pay for what's
He was like, 3 days on this list. There's so much money in here. Where is the invoice? I don't have to leave. Where is the invoice? Everybody had to give.
You know,
So
the
embarrassing.
unfair do like
So you had to go
that. If there's
downstairs,
so much money, you know, both times. If there's so much
get
money,
your invoice and come back.
And
was
the girl,
really
no, for the girl will go, former political issues, always in the front. Tell me, say that,
Yeah.
the woman will go in this. It's not so good.
You know, so Ali had to move. Ali had to sit down like something.
Seriously?
Yep.
I'm here to this next
And then
person.
she called her daddy. Daddy, so embarrassing. Yes. I was upset too, but I have no control.
But she never like, I never after the class. She stayed in the class.
Yep, she didn't move. And she said she'd be a She's not coming.
At the same problem we have because we put more buses them, we put more buses them in the school fee. Yeah, that's what I tell them say, you know, when they already say, someone go from a contract and say, this is what I paid for. And I say, oh, no.
Because they behave
Them want me, because they tell them to register.
So it's a very stubborn, really great advice, but all my invoice are catch up on this, because I never know this.
Long time.
This next boy.
I never heard.
This next boy says,
So it took up a lot, it took up a chunk of my class. Just really get to do as much. If all the cells in a plant appear like the one drawn, which is that, the plant's ability to photosynthesize will be reduced. Explain why photosynthesis will be reduced.
One.
Because less water.
Is there? What did I do this time? No, I don't know that person. I've never seen her before. I'm serious. I've never seen her before. Like she's telling Bobby so much. Oh yeah, so this is easy. What are the raw materials of photosynthesis?
Sunlight, water.
Exactly. So if water is not available, then photosynthesis is obviously going to reduce. Yeah. Just that. Yes, that is all.
Just tell us what else was there.
I was going to say, when the cells are plasmolized, the plant wilts. When the leaf wilts, it reduces its surface area. So it will absorb less sunlight and less carbon dioxide.
That's why we write just the water.
So all of those will affect photosynthesis negatively. Right? But then it's a 2 more question. They just want you to say, so just give up a raw material and explain why. So we're going to say water is a raw material of photosynthesis. You get 1 mark for saying that. Then you're going to say, less water means There. You know, the purpose of water is to supply hydrogen atoms so that the carbon dioxide can bond with it in the dark reaction, right? A dark or light independent stage. Complete the table below to show three differences between plant and animal cells.
Large permanent, large small temporary, no cell, no cell.
Oh, you can hold right here, don't you?
Yeah.
So the features are vacuole, chloroplast, and cell wall. And then one is to say in plant cell. You can tell me where if it's being projected.
No, it says red. But it's small.
So here is this. Make it bigger. Vacuole.
Somewhere right over this.
Chloroplast. These? These
No,
are
over
fake.
this. No, that.
Water is
Yeah.
turn the camera a little bit, just tilt the camera.
If we turn over this,
I don't know if it's inverted.
it can. It can. It can either go up or down.
Them technical, so you can't answer. Yeah, just
It a turn.
Which side?
The turn
Stop.
turn all the way around though.
No, I see.
Just that one time, give them time and turn it back.
Vacuole, chloroplast, and cell wall. Plant, animal. So for vacuole,
Large and permanent.
some of vacuole, and this is large,
Large permanent.
and you say permanent. And the over here is small. You know, small and large is enough here. Chloroplast.
Absent.
Present.
Absent.
There. And that is where 3 marks. 3? Why is it worth 3?
Half mark for each.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
So that's how we
One
use
per
the
line. One
conclusion.
per line. You're gonna get 1 star to the next one. You don't get
One mark each line.
If you don't get one, you now get the next one. For example, if a person's words 1 mark with accept 2 things, if they get 1 right, we don't get the other 1 right. Only we get 0 feet.
That is unfair.
rubbish. Guess what? We're on section B, which is the hard section.
I know.
Section that they took from
The
the
part where the
previous
genetics
paper.
now.
And my favorite, look, you see this genetics, is on every paper. Get comfortable with genetics here.
Alright.
After that, you look worried like.
So I know phenotype.
I'm gonna do a genetic marathon here.
Please, I'll be there first.
I'll tell you later. What you say.
I'll let everything go. I'm gonna go.
Why this is point of the same?
Serious? So when are the marathons exactly? Sir?
Huh?
When are the marathons?
I don't know if you guys listen to marathon. You never request one.
What? Are we after? What kind of sense?
I don't know. I heard there's marathon for all sciences and like
One
advanced.
for the first
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know.
But I'm saying on weekends. One is the first of April.
First of April, All Food Day. I'm not coming here on All Food Day.
You are coming because
I'm not coming here on All
so you have
Food
to
Day.
come. So we're going to do an all.
They still know that is a all food.
Exactly. So when they come here by themselves on All Food Day. All Food Day, we stay here.
No, it's so cool.
Alright, so it's a distinguish between the following pairs of terms. And I taught it just like this. I give you the same pairs. So allele and genes. Allele, alternative forms of the same genes. Gene, length of DNA encoding for
Specific trait.
yes. Phenotype, physical expression of a gene. Genotype,
Internal.
information inside the nucleus encode for a character. Dominant,
So then that's expressed over another one.
the allele.
The allele is expressed over the recessive allele.
Yeah, always express itself
It always shows up in the
in
field.
phenotype
It's present.
Right, also
as long as it's present. Recessive,
recessive may or may
It
not.
only
It can
shows
only show if
if both
if none of if there's
if
no
both alleles
other.
are recessive.
May or may not show.
yeah, and you see, different class here, you're like, what is this? Okay.
So then you please.
I know you're not used to this. Allele. Don't worry, you hear him write everything that he said. Because I'm going to leave here not knowing anything. So allele and gene, they are similar but different. The allele, I'll always remember, al for alternative.
Use alternative of the genes and the gene is there.
Alternative form of the same gene. So you have the big allele, which is big A, and you have the small one, which is that. Right? Those are two alleles. Yes? This is an example, you know. You can have any letter. It could be U and X or
Sure,
whatever.
you can work.
You can work because it's what you look alike. Big U and small U look alike, so you can't use that. Genes. Length.
The length of the DNA.
Yes.
Does it usually a piece of it?
Yes.
Something
Some trait.
encoded.
Inquiry for a particular gene trait. Okay, you see. That's true.
Is that two? Genotype or phenotype?
Yeah.
Yes.
Phenotype. P for physical.
Exactly. Pheno, physical. Physical expression of a gene.
And the genotype is a pair of names. Or you say a group of genes.
The genotype is a pair of allele encoded for a particular character.
Pair of allele. A pair of allele.
Yep.
Encoding for.
Isn't allele already a pair?
No.
No, alleles
Each
are
of these
one.
are allele.
Oh, okay.
Alternative
Okay.
form.
Alright.
So the genotype is a pair of allele. The two things together make up the genotype. Pair of allele encoding for a character.
Okay, alright, makes sense.
A characteristic, same thing. And dominant?
Recessive.
The dominant is really a description of the genotype. So the dominant is the genotype that is always expressed in the phenotype. While recessive now is the genotype that is only expressed in the homozygous state. Meaning small a, small a. And that's the only time we're show when there is no dominant allele. So as long as you have a dominant allele will overcome the recessive one and show itself up. Alright, genetics. Genetics is just so exciting. Yes. Black fur color is controlled by a dominant allele, big B, and brown fur color by its recessive allele, small b, obviously. This characteristic is not sex-linked, so it really doesn't matter if it's a male or a female. If you have a black fur, it's just black fur. If you have a brown fur, it's just brown fur. No matter if you're a male or female animal. If the genotypes of the parents and offsprings of a cross between a black male and a brown female that produces half black offspring and half brown offspring, you must show all the steps in the working of the problem.
State so things the alleles.
First of all, it's not confusing. The first thing you need to do, first thing you need to do is write what they give you. They tell you, say, black is controlled by B. Yes? Oh, you finish this now? Yeah. Finish? See, I'm used to students taking forever to write, like half an hour to write the sentence. So now there's have to wait on them. They're ready to finish. I'm like, sir, I'm finished. Alright, so we said black fur is B and brown fur is small b. Now, they want the combination that is going to give you a 50-50 black and brown. How is that possible? Yes.
One dominant.
Yes. I don't know if you figure that out, but it's correct. Alright, so them's a black male, yeah?
Why the male approves that?
I don't know, them's a black male, so we write black male and it's a brown female. Now, if it's a brown female, obviously her genotype is going to be what?
Small b.
Small b.
Small b, small b. So this is her genotype. Alright, this up here says the phenotype. The fur color is the phenotype. You can see that. Physical expression, you see it, right?
Alright.
Yeah.
So the phenotype of P1. Phenotype of P1. We call P1 because they're the first set appearance.
I see.
That's F0.
And them say we're going to get brown in the next generation. The only way we can get brown in the next generation is if daddy here have a small b in a female gene. There's no other way because if we have two big B, all of these would have a big B in there.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
So I say from bit of 2 big.
Then you just tell me the answer. The mother is brown and daddy is black. How is it that the offspring them are gonna come brown? Daddy have to have a brown allele somewhere hidden.
If not, it's not possible.
If not, it's not possible, and that's how we get jacket. It's true, that is how we Jamaican men get jackets.
Doesn't Jamaican allow get jacket?
I heard 90%. So that's statistics here. The American embassy.
Oh, when people are
When them are filed for them, like you have 4 kids, you file for 4, one of them is yours.
that person that must be blind though.
Have you spent so much money?
No, but you must be saying like a stop
Stop
spending.
now, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Give back the money though.
Yeah,
There's something called attachment. You
Yes,
can just
treat
own
them
a
like a
child like
yes.
that.
You can.
No, you cannot. If you never love the thing, then.
Because Jamaican man never come.
Yeah, you can do, sir.
What?
if a Jamaican man have 5 with me, and then she say one after another,
I don't know how many years.
maybe I'll dance to the key.
All right. So the genotype is going to produce the gametes. So when we represent our gametes, we separate the letters, and we normally put a circle around them. Some people put on a tail on the male gamete to show that the sperm is going to swim to the egg. So these are the gametes, yeah?
Yeah.
You label, make sure you label your thing just like this. Camera, yes sir.
So how come what the easier way would it
Which is easier way? Put it square.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Put it back.
No, sir, it's not the easiest way.
Easier.
Alright, okay. You can use anyone, but when whichever you use, you still have to make sure you identify your.
Exactly. How you go identify power square.
So much
It's easier.
easier.
Because you look in
Different strokes, different folks. Alright?
Exactly.
Me say first to first. That is going to give you
complications.
big B,
Small.
This smell right.
first to second. It's gonna give me big B and small b again. You always write the dominant allele first. And if you have an A B you're working with, you write the first letter of the alphabet first. So if you have BC working with, is B and C. Yes? X and Y. You know, right? YX. X and Y all the time. Then you have second to first, which is small b. Then you have second to second.
So there's the half.
Yeah.
See here? These guys over here, them black for.
There's a brown for.
And these over here are brown for. Very good. So these are the F1 phenotype. You can see that, right? And this is the F1 genotype. What F1 stands for again?
First generation.
First generation. Good. F1 genotype. Yes. 100%. You get all the marks right there. Oh, you never get all the marks. You get one less mark. You're supposed to write the ratio, right?
Yeah.
Then we say alpha now. So it is 1 ratio sine 1. And that is this is both the phenotypic and genotypic ratio. What title? Diagram showing blah blah blah. Yeah, you put it up. It's below. There's no mark for it though. But you put it up. Because it's not a drawing that you can label, that's why you don't get the mark for the title. But if you get a drawing to do, like draw a cell or draw a leaf, the type is worth 1 mark. What?
Oh, when I tell you do it, and then never do a title at the end.
Funny. You can put the title, but the title won't worth any mark for it.
So
There's no labels.
Okay.
It's all
I just tell you that.
just 3 questions in genetics. Because really, we said it's A, B, C.
No, it's always one question on genetic worth 15 marks. Genetics worth 15 marks on the paper.
It's always only 3 parts.
3 parts? No, sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. But there's always a genetic question. Next question says, hemophilia is caused by a X-linked recessive gene. What X-linked mean? Sex-linked. Which means that this is found on which chromosome? The X. All sex-linked genes are found on the X chromosome. The Y chromosome is the boss. It only have a mustache and beard. And the penis, of course. But the X chromosome are on all of the crossing stuff.
Everybody can.
All the cross stuff the way I say.
Boys are telling the girls.
And the problem is, the boys, they'll get the disease. And the girls rarely get it.
Which one we are
Hemophilia, all the sex-linked genes, look anywhere.
Yes.
Remember, you know, females can be carrier of a sex-linked gene, but males can't because they only have one X chromosome. So it's either them have it or they don't. A woman, she can have it, but she have an X dominant to suppress it, so it won't show and it won't affect her. Hemophilia.
It's some blood related.
Yes, it's a condition where your blood don't clot. You don't have any clotting factor.
Oh,
it is also called the royalty disease because it was first found in royalty. Because they marry them cousins. Inbreeding will cause you to lose favorable characteristics.
So we I mean by them, our brother and sister.
They're married to them cousins.
You know the royalty family.
Yes.
Because
they have to keep the royalty in the family.
They have to keep well between themselves.
Incest.
Yeah.
Yourself or between other.
So they're married to their first cousin and second cousin and first cousin. First cousin, you know.
So like William and Kate, no, that's different because they marry outside of the family.
So them on the royalty again.
Precisely.
Them give up them.
Change
Them give up them. Once you don't marry somebody in your family, that person is not right. You just basically take yourself out of the race for the crown.
Yeah, that's why I get.
Yeah, because it is born in the royalty. But you can't be king nor queen. Right?
So they make a deal.
We don't prefer that because we're not going to win the man cousin. You came from it.
So what's the best thing?
So, hemophilia one now is on the, and look at this, them give you them tell you how you're supposed to write it. This is not normal. Hemophilia is caused by X-linked recessive gene. Two parents with normal phenotype, meaning that they don't show the characteristic of hemophilia, they don't show disease, have a hemophilic child. Use a genetic diagram to show how this is possible.
But the mother must be a carrier.
Mother must be a carrier. No, the father normal. Father cannot be a carrier. They cannot be carrier in males. Sasha, you're not concentrating. Can you erase it, right?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So for hemophilia, it's the only one. No, it's not the only one. It's only two cases that you write back the X and Y for male and female. When you're looking at hemophilia and when you're looking at color blindness. Otherwise, you don't use X and Y ever. Let me say it again. You don't use X and Y unless you're looking at the disease hemophilia or color blindness. Only those two. You know, I gave an exam and everybody used X and Y as them letters for cross.
Because maybe they got them used to.
Yeah. But once you use X and Y, it means that the gene is sex linked.
So is it this extinct?
Yes, that's why we're using it.
If you use it,
When you use it again in anything else,
That's why I could use it for the fur.
exactly. You could use it for fur. So this is what we're having. So this is the male. And if you don't want to write male, you can use
the symbol.
the awkward sign.
Sure.
And the female, you know, you can draw the circle with the mini skirt here. This is such a sexist side though. It's very sexist. Can you look at the male, what you see?
An arrow.
An arrow is a
It's an arrow. Where do you get this from? Because it's an upward pointing arrow. It's kind of, you know. And then you look at the female, what do you see? You have mini skirts are X mark the spot.
Where is it?
No.
You get
What I want to say? I don't want to see a mini skirt. So this is the genotype of the man. And the genotype of the woman.
It's capital X mother's QH.
She must be a carrier. Somebody must be a carrier, and them say both of them normal. So she must be a carrier in order to not show it.
Yeah.
And then the man can't be carrier because there's no carrier for males. So these are the two genotypes that you start. So these are so we say normal, right? Normal blood. Normal and normal. So this gives you the, what is this again? What? Phenotype of? Good. And then these are obviously the genotypes of P1. I'm going to use his style. I'm going to use your style now, sir. So after you do this, you have to start like this. Then you do your Punnett square. Tick, tock, toe.
Number 9.
Yes, a big number sign, and you divide this into 2.
Sir, and this is the easier?
Yeah. So you put the male there, and you put the female there.
Amen, right?
What's the genotype of the what are the alleles for the male? X. And remember that the H is connected to the X. And then over here you have the Y. Nothing in the panic, so you just leave it like that. And then for the lady now,
X big H.
big H and small H.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure, yeah. What is it after?
And you close your box. You close the box. All right.
Oh.
All right. Let me show you what I did. You see what I did? You sure? Female. Female. One gamete. Next gamete. Continue. Do the same thing in the exam, yeah? When these cross now, it is first to first. It's the same concept. First to first. So we're going to end up with
XH.
and that's a girl because it's XX. Right?
A boy.
That boy is normal. Good.
So that girl definitely have 10 boy also.
Who have it? This girl have it. I tell you, say it don't show up in the girls, it show up in the boys.
Because the girl have research.
Oh, the boy have it.
It look easier to me right now.
50% of the boys have it. And the girls are normal. No, none of the girls don't have it. Girls are carrier like their mommy, but them just carry it. Girls get it from their dads only. So if the dad have it, then the girl will get it. That's the only way you get an hemophilic girl. If the father is a known hemophiliac. And who would marry a known hemophiliac?
Somebody who don't care. So, yeah.
Love is blind.
I would say that I'm not going to say.
Oh, you see what I'm
It's
saying?
like person who has to treat it time.
But it's highly unlikely for a woman to marry a sick man. As a man would marry a sick woman.
If they have money,
Them just sick. But women, them picky. Why?
so remember on camera. So.
But it's true. They're picky more. You're too short.
It's not like, come on, come on, guys. Be true to yourself. Be true, very careful. Exactly. The rest of our life you think about, that's why.
I can't change.
We don't not think about the rest of the life, that's why I'm not picky.
Exactly.
We can't go on forever till the dead. Applaud.
Alright, so let me show you how you label this now. These are the gametes, right? So you put gametes. And these are gametes too.
So you're doing some more in the class?
What?
You're doing some more in the next class?
Yes. And these now are your F1 genotype. Are you going to write them back out like this?
So why?
Because you have to write it
Yeah,
out.
You have to write it up back if you do the box.
Yeah,
If you do the other one, you don't have to do that.
The box could have been.
How are you going to get the ratio if you don't write it back out?
Exactly.
So why you just
How you get the ratio out of the box if you don't write it?
This is the simple way.
Alright, so you're going to get normal female. Carrier female. Which is still normal. And you have a normal male. That's the normal rock. And you have a hemophilia male. So we can circle this guy and call him hemophilia. And we use the English spelling here. And because it's half of the boys, it is 50% of the boys. 50% of the boys. But in all, what is the percentage of children? 25% of all the children. Very good.
One and never four.
One in every four. Very good, Mr. Mathematician. Seriously, I love genetics. Like, this is just so much fun.
Okay, you can be not working.
I need to teach you some mathematics.
Yeah, oh, you have any class tomorrow to send?
No, only early. Is it really 8:08?
It was 7
It's
actually.
like the time stands still and waiting for us.
8:07 actually.
Sir, can I read it? Finish.
Of course we're finished. We're finished with time to spare. You're supposed to take 30 minutes to do each question.
I did question 5.
So that's what it's for.
Question 5. It's a disease question. And question 6. Reproduction. Too easy.
So all of the words.
Right, disease one.
These don't seem easier. I didn't do everything first. I did a shit on it. These are words.
So where the code then? From last year though.
I'm going to try and do it for summer. That's the only time I'm going to the dentist. Summer.
So
And see if we can afford it with the health card.
you know say Dr. Morgan recently, right?
Who's that?
He's right in front of ID. Yeah, and he's good.
I don't trust them to do
No problem.
Alright. That's a murder. In front of Arden.
The only problem I have is like when we got in feel like we're doing surgery because you're like 2 days in a row at the same
He's very relative.
With the L card, I paid like
How much for fee with health card?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But for court, I think it was
Report?
yeah.
Ever heard?
No, they did inject cocaine or whatever it is, coke, whatever it is, you know.
So you had sensitivity? And it gone?
Bad.
And it gone?
Yeah, and after in court, then you make like a summer sensodyne, use for a week.
And that's it?
That's it.
Okay.
Let's look at that.
My father has sensitivity to another put it.
And you can drink soup and ice stuff.
You can buy ice cream.
Eat ice now.
Wow.
I never used to do.
That sounds like it works. You know what? My cocaine tube that I put on with it. You don't know it.
But
I have a cocaine tube.
it's like something with them like
It's in a tube. When my sensitivity come on, I just use it. I put it on and it dead on my tongue. My sound awful. I
make it
can't
come
feel.
heavy.
Yes. I can't feel it. I can't feel my gum.
You know it's not healthy though.
I know it's not healthy.
Because it's not fixing the problem.
No. But more they use it because I don't want to get addicted. You know, cocaine have that feature. Get addicted to it.
So you
Become
practice
dependent. Drug addict before it. Yeah.
it took like 1 hour when he was 14. You know, sir?
1 hour.
But them clean at the same time.
All right, so number 5 says insect vectors are involved in the spread of some pathogenic diseases. Describe the life cycle of a named insect vector.
Mosquito. Sir.
Yes.
So first, sir, it is an egg wrap, and then when it gets older, it changes to a larva. After which it changes to a pupa, then a mosquito, then it becomes an adult scallop.
To explain.
Did she say it become a mosquito and then adult?
No, not mosquitoes, are pupa, then adult.
Right. So first
Say
thing that
the
it
eggs are
says,
laid in water, like that.
describe the life cycle of a named insect vector. Good. So we have water down here, so.
Oh yeah, June.
We don't see it have to dry. Have to dry. Not to describe.
You have to dry.
Of course.
You have to draw the mosquito. You just write adult. Right? And the adult lay the eggs in the water. So you're gonna put
Near
eggs
the surface.
at the surface of the water. Then this is the only one that can submerge itself. Here's the larvae. And then back to the surface of the pupa, which is going to become the adult. Now you need to describe the processes that occurs along the way. The adult does what?
Lags. It lags.
Okay, so the adult lays the eggs. And then these eggs hatch to become the larvae. And then the larvae pupate.
Is that a word?
Yes, it is a word. It means it's a word. It means to form a pupa. And then the pupa emerges. And then up here is terrestrial.
What do you mean from layers to
Huh?
layers to terrestrial?
What? Terrestrial meaning on land. The adult lives on land, and the other stages live in the water. Also, the adult is a feeding stage, and the larva is also a feeding stage.
As in the feed.
So if we just draw that, we're gonna get a little further.
Huh?
We just
If we draw that, we're not gonna
If you just draw it and not explain it, you're not going to get all the marks. You're going to get 2 out of the 4. He said describe. How do you describe something?
You do.
Somewhere on the board he has a red shirt with social volunteer at the front. That's a description. You will just draw the shirt.
Yes, sir.
You can just
collect.
It doesn't even look like a shirt, it looks like a vest. Because you have a shirt underneath.
It's a shirt.
So I just need to write back that
Sure,
was the
exception.
words like is and yeah. I did that in
So that is your 4 marks. Distinguish between the transmission of a named pathogenic disease and a named physiological or lifestyle disease.
Sir, pathogenic disease,
Hold on, make this lady concentrate on the 2 words. Let me just say one more.
Which 2 were that more?
Pathogenic?
So we don't have one time. So you understand the adult may whatever. So you just
adult lays egg on land, it's gonna walk and hatch
what
larvae.
egg in the water.
The adult lays the egg.
I'm not gonna write out that too. And also sentences.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna write out that also sentences. That's all.
Yes, sir.
To become the larva. The larva pupates Are the larva forms of pupa. If you can't remember the term pupate, just say the larvae forms of pupa.
Which emerges into an adult.
Which emerges into an adult.
So we have to leave the line of water and find the line of water. You put aquatic.
No, I put aquatics. They have aquatic environment down there and up is terrestrial above. That just shows that part of the life cycle happen in the water and the next part happen on land. And you have to say which are the phases are the feeding stage. The adult feeds on blood and the larva feed on everything else that's in the water. That's small little kind of like filter feeding. Alright now?
I can say it now.
Alright now? Transmission now. So the pathogenic.
I chose measles.
Why you choose measles?
Because it's easier.
Pathogenic and physiological. Physiological. Yes.
So the pathogenic disease, the measles, is transmitted from person to person by direct or indirect contact. This disease can also be transmitted airborne. Then physiological disease. It can be airborne.
Oh, it's measles airborne.
I don't know, it's Google.
Measles.
It's Google against the airborne.
If measles was airborne, you couldn't then at the same room with somebody with measles.
Exactly.
It would have just blow and come and you catch it.
It's not communicated.
Yes, it's communicable. Direct contact or indirect contact. So if I have measles and I rub up my hand on this, and then you come and put your hand on there, you might get measles.
So you know when somebody has measles.
Them have the bumps on them.
Oh, the
But if
dog
you have chicken pox.
No, the big bump that looks like chicken feather when you pick out chicken feather, those are chicken pox. Pox bump are water filled. Measles is just a rash,
You get it before this?
fine rash. Who, me? No, I don't get any of it.
So why not the board?
I don't want to get it. It's not too late for me to get it.
Treatment always immune things.
Yeah. Right, so pathogenic, that is fine. Measles is fine. I would use influenza because it's easy. So it's airborne, respiratory. So I am using influenza.
That means it's almost impossible to not get any.
It is almost impossible not to get influenza, of course. If you have influenza coming in your cough, all of we get
We'll put it in our booster.
Yeah, all of we get it.
For you?
Of course. Because it said airborne. So if somebody that is here sneezes and cover them more,
It is spread by, transmitted by droplets.
That's why they always tell you to cover it.
But if you see somebody from the bus, I come.
Let's say no sneeze in the elbow.
No, then cover them more.
That's not safe.
No, but that's what I'm
No,
saying.
it come out from here. And the sneeze come from under here.
Me can't protect myself from that because if
Exactly,
somebody.
that's the point.
Sometimes I feel like somebody just locked in a hotel.
And then over here, so now, what is your physiological?
I had diabetes.
Diabetes is good.
Why it is good.
Because it's easy.
Diabetes.
Yes,
How do you get diabetes?
Hereditary.
Malfunction
Lifestyle.
of pancreas.
Which is a factor of a physiological disease.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, the physiological is a problem with your body.
The organ or system in the body. when it malfunctions.
Physio is
Yeah. Malfunction
pathogen knows
of
when you're infected with something.
pancreas.
virus.
All of the physiological diseases are caused by some malfunction of some body organ. You could use coronary heart disease,
Cancer.
cancer.
Is it informed by rapid cell growth?
Yeah, but
It is still malfunction.
mutated cells. That's what. That's
Mutation.
mutations.
And that's for marks, you know. This is one, this is one, this is one, this is one.
Sir,
Yes.
so it's a
Explain on treatment and control.
no, the transmission of the transmit by the malfunction of the pancreas. The transmission can be inherited with the HRS.
No, these are not hereditary diseases. Hereditary diseases are like sickle cell, hemophilia. No, asthma is pathogenic.
Oh,
It's caused by dust mites and allergens.
okay. That's
Because it's lifestyle. So if I have a lifestyle disease, I'm living in the same house with you. I'm eating from the same pot. I'm basically exposed to the same amount of TV time. May I get it too? It's likely that I get it. It's likely that if you're in the same house with somebody who would get diabetes, you're going to get diabetes as well. You need to leave. Go somewhere else and live.
Why is it?
And cook your food differently. Yeah.
Why is it?
Why do you think you get it? Because it's a lifestyle disease. If your lifestyle is similar to mine, chances are we have the same genes, we come from the same family, so we're going to be affected by the same things.
Yeah, you can live in the same house and sit there and listen to somebody with live their lifestyle.
I know, that's what I do. I'm the only one in my family that looks like this.
Like what?
Crying. Yes.
Everybody else
And I'm the only one who have that sort of diet. Everybody eat meat and them stuff there.
So you don't
I don't even
Sir. It's not because you don't eat meat, sir. Because some people they eat meat almost every day.
I know it.
And they still stay like that.
But when it
Yeah,
comes to
genes.
health,
Talk interval. Yeah, because they have metabolism. Anyway, so explain all the treatment and control measures of the name pathogenic disease. Different from the name physiological disease. Treatment and control. How do we treat this? So it's just treatment, control. They're different. How do we treat the influenza? It's a virus, so you can't cure it. So what we do is we treat the symptoms. Treatment of symptoms with acetaminophen.
What is that?
Panadol.
because you
Guys,
must know
Panadol is
the
just a brand. This is the name of it.
Yes, sir, because I'm pretty sure it's not you.
Learn
It's
it.
the students.
Learn it. Yeah, you take it every day. How do we control it?
clear out the area.
Exactly. Avoid overcrowded area.
Which means if you have food that you for what?
Sir.
And what else? How else can you control the spread of this? Use of hand sanitizer, wash hands,
Wash hands often.
When
Lysol.
I did the members of me.
So what things you can use to control?
Sir, for control the mosquitoes.
No, it's not. There's no cure for the.
Sir,
You can only treat the symptoms. See, it says a treatment of symptoms with acetaminophen. You can't do much. Bed rest. That's also another treatment. Fluid,
Sir.
warm fluid. Yes.
Go to the
So she
hospital.
called me, remember said we do malaria, control malaria, kill mosquito eggs. That's
Yes.
one? Okay.
Yes.
So hospital is a hospital one.
What?
Go to the hospital.
Oh, it's not a treatment. When you go to the hospital, what are they going to do?
Something.
at the moment they'll probably prescribe that to the acetaminophen and say the guy
Right. So when you go to the hospital, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to give you the treatment. Okay.
until it's great.
So if you stay here, it's same treatment. If you go to the hospital, you still get the treatment. Physiological, how do we treat this?
Change lifestyle.
Control the blood sugar with insulin.
Treatment, good. So we say insulin.
That is if you have the one where is the insulin is, they have two different types, right?
Yeah. Dieting.
Dieting is the one that can be fixed. Type 2 will be fixed by dieting. Type 1 you have to get
Exercise.
insulin.
How do we control it?
Efficient.
You can't really control that on diabetes.
Just, the treatment and the control come at the same thing.
Change of lifestyle.
Treatment and control is almost the same thing.
For diabetes. That means.
You can't control diabetes. Like for type 1, if you're born with it, you just born with it. You can't, there's nothing you can do about that.
You can be a thing that time
But
and
if
pass
it's
it
type
like
2, you have to change your lifestyle.
No, you have
Meaning-
different types. But there are three types, but there are two main types. The one that get detailed lifestyle and the one that you can inherit.
and insipidus.
So like what everybody knows about
insipidus is the one for the insulin.
No, you're not
right?
going to get diabetes. In the name of Jesus, you're not going to get it. Just don't eat the same thing whenever. Yeah? And damage your pancreas.
Go where? Start off with the minister and then get
Evaluate the socio-economic impact of AIDS and the Caribbean population. 3 marks.
That's social.
Yeah.
It is social.
Repeat the question.
Evaluate
So everything
the socio-economic impact of AIDS and the Caribbean population.
Yeah.
So, when them say socio-economic, social meaning living together. How am I affecting you if me have AIDS?
Do you catch it too?
No.
No, another.
If you're promiscuous. That's the only way.
So is it that persons with AIDS tend to be like poverty stricken due to their limited education?
Stereotype.
And, no,
Where did you
it's
get
not
that
stereotype.
It is very stereotypical.
It is not.
So you're trying to say only guns people can
Sir, I did not say that. That is my implication. Sorry. Most of them
I
are.
do believe.
Sir, let me
Do you think
say.
second have anything to do with HIV transmission?
No.
Alright, them lack public awareness. So.
It's only
Seriously?
one thing.
Oh, sir. Sir, me
Let me tell you something.
the cause of AIDS, the one is not that.
It's a feeling.
Exactly.
It's a feeling.
As long as you get kids, you can get AIDS.
Yeah.
I see top.
As long as you have us.
As long as they have sex, you can get AIDS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These
Because no people know.
90%
And the feeling of why they do it, why it's like they don't want to use the condoms and the feeling.
Yeah. They want that natural feeling. So they
Yeah.
will use the condom. It's not because they can't get
And some no, but sir, some people are allergic.
And some friends are allergic, yeah.
And some people intentionally walk around and get people.
That's too
Those two are just
It's called the same color revenge, I guess.
Socio-economic impact. That's what you said?
Yeah.
Socio-economic impact of AIDS. Let's go. Socio-econ impact. Right, so you said stereotyping. How you spell that?
Stereo. Type.
Stereo and type.
Stereotyping.
Okay.
Happening is
It's not hard.
Stereotyping, yes. So yeah, easy now. Me not stereo
They can't get a job at my place and they end up poor.
Yeah.
Like what me that say.
But you know, say but it's true. It's mostly for
At the point,
people
it's mostly people who poverty stricken tend to be
Yeah, yeah.
AIDS positive or HIV positive. And
It's not a lack of education.
You know, stereotype is social history.
No, because of stereotyping. If you go for the job, they're not getting the job because them have AIDS, them stereotype them, so them poor, them can't get a job.
Well, we get it.
Stereotyping.
Yeah, stereotyping caused the poverty.
But it's the truth.
Even if it's poor people that like a mother people.
Exactly. That was exactly my point. Most people tend to be poverty stricken, unemployed, and undereducated. But this in turn leads to the government affect.
Look for
Affect
Legion.
everything for them.
Legion only have 2 kids.
Because now we don't have time to get an next one.
Rich people know what the
If
money
it is
for
time, you don't have, you don't want to spend it.
If you don't want to spend a bag of money,
Exactly.
so raise a bag of money. And then
Poor
we have
people.
the money.
For
to spend a
Poor
bag of
people.
7,
13.
I don't want to get them out of school.
Fair.
And the funny thing about it, 1 and 7, 1 and 9. 1 and 9,
Yeah.
1 and 10. I saw them do it like right back at each other. Like,
a woman did when they 17 me and always want to say,
what?
There are your there are your reporters.
no, they're not twins. They're no twins.
No things at all. Like just means they just couldn't wait.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10.
You know what most of these ladies do though? Like them have a child already, and then go to a next man for them mind the child, but then end up having a next child, and then go to somebody else, and just keep on like you have 30 people, 30 different ones.
But then educate them all the free things over there.
They're not teachers.
Yes. But not everybody.
It's not everybody think the same way.
Different purposes.
I never try to point finger on anybody who end up with a disease or persons who end up with a whole lot of kids. Because
On to the old time.
They just don't
Back then, because you know people did more family oriented and all of that crap.
We 30 something.
Yes. And then
all of them did get food, like education.
It wasn't as never really come about. It wasn't as popular and
They don't realize,
because back then
the people them have only come to them and them always come for news about them not even or we want help and you go the government never tell us say the government never tell us to go and lay down like go lay down. Like seriously?
6 marks for the drawing of the male reproductive.
We can't draw that good.
Yo, we're not done.
Indicate on the diagram the structures that produce gametes as the testes. The structure that transport the gametes to allow reproduction to take place, which are the tubes. So 6 marks. Draw it. I want you to say like a minute.
Front view.
I know.
Let me see this one. I'm critical.
Oh,
You know, say the front view measure, because the front view is my
this
favorite.
side view, sir.
No, the front view is easier.
This side
Front
this
view is
side
the easiest view.
Side view.
True that.
And even if you can't draw, you can draw the front view. Simple one too. You know what you that space so?
Is a nip and some neck.
As long as you have the structures there, it's fine. Remember you're under exam pressure, you can't do anything pretty here.
I know. The word didn't
So
get
there,
anything.
outline, you get the outline. Testicles,
And I get more.
Kyle tube. Kyle tube. Corpus. No, seminal vesicle first. Copper. Prostate. Urethra.
Surgery for prostate cancer.
Jesus Christ.
Not yet.
Real, everyone could do it.
Yes, man.
To do it once a year.
Actually, you know about prostate.
We know that the procedures are very uncomfortable.
Disturbing.
So,
Yes.
but who are disturbing too?
Yes,
It
yeah,
comes
yeah.
here disturbing too.
Yes,
Because they are put them up something like.
Yeah, the pap smear and then literally scrape.
Is that record
Okay.
something?
Scrape.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So don't think we get away. We don't get away. There's discomfort in everything.
It's like them a dig for gold or something.
No. Oh my goodness, man.
And then nothing to make them take time. They just remove
It
them.
was
You did one?
Yeah, great.
Why they
Early.
Me, never again.
See there? That is done. Just label it now. Back. Test this. FP miss.
The first time
Firm
I
down.
was December gone.
Seminal vesicle.
I don't know yet, obviously.
Copper.
It doesn't have to be like having things, like sex or something.
Oh, really?
You don't have to.
The prostate gland.
Jordan always here.
No, girl.
Urethra. Scrotum. And this guy got circumcised. He don't have no foreskin.
Is that Muslim? Or a Jew?
And you just put the title.
Sir, why didn't that be why did do? Is that?
Religion? No, it's in the Bible. The Jews
In
did
the
it.
old.
On the 8th day.
So,
So then now
try
it's
not to mean. No.
So what that look, Lord?
Pink.
See, here without the skin, just look normal.
No, you'll be talking about in person.
Pink.
What have you know? I don't know you just said pink.
Name one method of
Wait,
contraception
no,
that works to prevent fertilization and ovulation. Okay, those are easy. Which one prevents fertilization? All of the barriers.
Which are condom,
There's something
femidol.
vasectomy.
What
Vasectomy.
one prevent ovulation?
Pill.
Pill.
The pill, or the injection.
As you know, that some mass shoots are coming to shoot us.
So that's why you're
No, I'm making sure that my defenders, the gun will come in first, don't?
No, you might carry automatic and you might go shoot through the door. Stand up right.
Register. Everybody will sign this thing?
No.
No, sir.
This is some people come after and
Yeah, some people will come after. When will never sign?
So you talk about them can't see something online. Just never watch your one listen.
Yeah, man.
No, I'm serious, man. We see
Well,
kind
you-
of a fluid
In
and
the
pain in the job. You say, what you
area, right?
I was listening. I just watched the video.
That's not
I can see I understand everything.
Sorry, it's a fertilization, all
It's because you kind of
come
fix it
here.
if it's a no.
Right over this one. And
What?
draw the board and everything.
What is going on here, Salon? What is this?
Hold on.
Why you just start?
It's the class time up, that's why.
Fertilization.
It's a pop-up. I lay down for solution saving too.
Bro.
The pop-up.
Mash it up.
Sir, and ovulation is birth control pill.
Yeah, so for fertilization, any of the barrier methods, so the condom, the femidom, the
Diaphragm.
diaphragm cap, all of those. And then ovulation is the pills and the injection, and the patch and the implant. Yes, those are the hormonal ones, they prevent ovulation.
No?
Explain how each method name prevent pregnancy. That's the same way. Preventing the sperm from reaching the egg, preventing the eggs from developing. I'm going to compare the means by which gamete is brought together. So explain how each method name prevent pregnancy. You know the condom prevent pregnancy?
Prevents
It prevents the sperm from reaching the egg.
and
Yes.
ovulation.
And do you know how the pill prevents pregnancy?
It makes the body feel like it's already.
It makes the body feel like it's already
You can get
pregnant,
pregnant.
and therefore no ovulation, so there's no egg.
Yeah.
Or it make the egg not mature. And then finally, the comparison between how the plant gametes are brought together and how the human gametes are brought together. That's easy. In the plant, pollen grains are transferred from the anther to the stigma, either by wind or by insects. Right? Or still wind. And in the human, there must be
Sexual intercourse.
either artificial insemination or coitus.
No, that word there.
Yes, copulation or sexual intercourse. Yeah? Yes, so the penis must get into the vagina somehow.
Not the penis, the sperm cell.
Yeah, or the sperm. How is that possible?
How is it possible?
You can get this sperm in there with
Sir,
still alive.
Yes, sir.
No.
Sir, look at the post, sir.